Hari Om Tat Sat. Namaste to all of you. On behalf of Satya and the children and the family, thank you for coming today for the offering of our thanks to Satya. I ask Kamalji to start.
Right, get gathered here for us to puja, please. वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं श्रीकृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् आदिपूर्व उच्चरित एवं गुणविशेषेण विशिष्टायाम् अस्यां सुविदितो आगतानां भक्तमहाजनस्य क्षेम स्थैर्य विजय विजय आयु आरोग्य ऐश्वर्य अभिवृद्ध्यर्थं धर्म अर्थ काम मोक्ष चतुर्विध फलपुरुषार्थ सिद्ध्यर्थं श्री अलवेल मंगला पद्मावती श्री महालक्ष्मी नरसिंह वेंकटेश्वर स्वामी अष्टोत्तर शतनामावली पूजनं करिष्ये तदं गत्वा श्री केशवाय नाम पूजनम् अहं करिष्ये। ओम केशवाय नमः, ओम नारायणाय नमः, ओम माधवाय नमः, ओम गोविंदाय नमः, ओम विष्णवे नमः, ओम मधुसूदनाय नमः, ओम त्रिविक्रमाय नमः, ओम वामनाय नमः, ओम श्रीधराय नमः, ओम ऋषिकेशाय नमः, पद्मनाभाय नमः, ओम दामोदराय नमः, ओम शंकरनाय नमः, ओम वासुदेवाय नमः, प्रद्युम्नाय नमः, ओम अनिरुद्धाय नमः, ओम पुरुषोत्तमाय नमः, ओम अधोक्षजाय नमः, ओम नारसिंहाय नमः, ओम अच्युताय नमः, ओम जनार्दनाय नमः, उपेन्द्राय नमः, ओम हरे नमः, ओम श्री कृष्णाय नमः। अथ केशवाय नाम पूजनं पूजनान्ते श्री महालक्ष्मी देवी अष्टोत्तर पूजनं करिष्ये। श्री महालक्ष्मी देवी नमः। ओम प्रकृते नमः, ओम विकृते नमः, ओम विद्याय नमः, सर्वभूत हितप्रदाय नमः, ओम श्रद्धाय नमः, ओम विभूत्यै नमः, ओम शुरभ्ये नमः, ओम परमात्मिकाय नमः, ओम वाचे नमः, पद्मालयाय नमः, ओम पद्माय नमः, ओम शुचे नमः, ओम स्वाहाय नमः, ओम स्वधाय नमः, ओम सुधाय नमः, ओम धन्ये नमः, ओम हिरण्यमये नमः, ओम लक्ष्मे नमः, ओम दिव्यपुष्टाय नमः, ओम विभावल्ये नमः, ओम आदित्याय नमः, ओम दीप्ते नमः, ओम दीप्ताय नमः, ओम वसुधाय नमः, वसुधारिण्ये नमः, ओम कमलाय नमः, ओम कान्ताय नमः, कामाक्षे नमः, कमलसंभवाय नमः, अनुग्रहप्रदाय नमः, ओम बुद्धे नमः, ओम अनघाय नमः, ओम हरिवल्लभाय नमः, ओम अशोकाय नमः, ओम अमृताय नमः, लोकशोक विनाशिन्ये नमः, ओम धर्मनिलयाय नमः, ओम करुणाय नमः, लोकमात्रे नमः, ओम पद्मप्रियाय नमः, पद्महस्ताय नमः, पद्माक्षे नमः, पद्मसुन्दर्ये नमः, पद्मोद्भवाय नमः, पद्ममुखे नमः, पद्मनाभप्रियाय नमः, ओम रमाय नमः, पद्माराधाय नमः, ओम देव्ये नमः, ओम पद्मिन्ये नमः, पद्मगन्धिन्ये नमः, पुण्यगन्धाय नमः, ओम सुप्रसन्नाय नमः, प्रसादाभिमुखे नमः, ओम प्रभाय नमः, चन्द्राय नमः, चन्द्रवदनाय नमः, चन्द्रसहोदर्ये नमः, ओम चतुर्भुजाय नमः, ओम चन्द्ररूपाय नमः, ओम इंदिराय नमः, इंद्रशीतलाय नमः, आधारधन्ये नमः, ओम पुष्टे नमः, ओम शिवाय नमः, शिवकर्ये नमः, ओम सत्ये नमः, ओम विमलाय नमः, विश्वजनन्ये नमः, ओम तुष्टे नमः, दारिनाशिन्ये नमः, प्रीतपुष्करिण्ये नमः, ओम शान्ताय नमः, शुक्लमाल्याम्बराय नमः, ओम श्रिये नमः, भास्कर्ये नमः, बिल्वनिलयाय नमः, वराकुभाय नमः, यशस्विन्ये नमः, वसुन्धराय नमः, ओम उदाराङ्गाय नमः, ओम हरिण्ये नमः, हेमालिन्ये नमः, धरधानिकरे नमः, ओम सिद्धे नमः, श्रेणसौम्याय नमः, शुभप्रदाय नमः, नूपुवेशगदानन्दाय नमः, वरलक्ष्मे नमः, वशुप्रदाय नमः, ओम शुभाय नमः, हिरण्यप्राकाराय नमः, समुद्रतनयाय नमः, ओम जयाय नमः, ओम मंगलाय नमः, ओम विष्णुवक्षसरसिदाय नमः, ओम विष्णुवत्ते नमः।
Lakshmi, and Durga. This is a composition of Suggannahalli Shradhanjali. This item is choreographed by Srimati Ranjita.
ತ್ರಿಮಾತಾ ಕವತ್ವಂ ರಾಗಮಾಲಿಕೆ ತಾಳ ಏಕತಾಳ ರಚನೆ ವಿದ್ವಾನ್ ಸುಗ್ಗನಹಳ್ಳಿ ಷಡಕ್ಷರಿ ಸಂಗೀತ ಸಂಯೋಜನೆ ವಿದ್ವಾನ್ ಬಾಲಸುಬ್ರಹ್ಮಣ್ಯ ಶರ್ಮ. वल्लभे शङ्करि दुर्गे वासुरध्वंसिनि वन्दे वन्दे मातरम् शङ्कर वल्लभे शङ्करि दुर्गे वासुरध्वंसिनि वन्दे वन्दे मातरम् शङ्कर वल्लभे शङ्करि दुर्गे
The poet here talks about the life of Sri Rama and Sita when they went to Panchavati forest on the banks of river Godavari. This padam depicts the Shurpanakha episode and then depicts the golden deer episode which led to the separation of Rama and Sita. The poet says tears from Rama and Sita's eyes are the flowing waters of river Godavari. This was choreographed by Dr. Lalita Srinivasan as a part of feature Marga Taranga on Rivers of India.
I would like to say a few words about this particular padam that I will be performing next. Here, the poet says, maybe the separation of Rama and Sita was so immense that the tears started mixing with the waters of Godavari and it started overflowing like floods. So I just wanted to mention, so when I show this in my dance, it's Rama. When I show this, it means it's Lakshmana. When I show this, it's Sita. When I show this, it's Rakshasa. Just so that everybody can differentiate. And this is of course the golden deer that I will be showing. This is a Telugu padam written by Dr. Shradhanjali.
पंचवटी वरनजाला सीतारामुल कुपीता पंचवटी परचा सीतारामुल कुईरा पंचवटी परचा सीतारामुल कुईरा पंचकार माये प्रपंच मोद मूले पंचकार माये प्रपंच मोद मूले पंचवटी परचा सीतारामुल रामुनी धीरोदात सीते योगदम शुनत वनिता रामुनी धीरोदात सीते योगदम वनिता प्रेमन दापत नीति अयो यडवासे प्रेमन दापत नीति अयो यडवासे प्रेमन दापत नीति प्रेमन दापत नीति प्रेमन दापत नीति भवति भिक्षां देहि भवति भिक्षां देहि भवति भिक्षां देहि
sort of joy, struggle, separation, reconnection, and most importantly, faith in the divine. To set things right, I think. And it is just such an amazing thing to see. And I know that Satya once said that she considered dance to be the fifth Veda for her. And that really, if it was done with devotion to the God, it was really sort of a step towards the divine. And I really think that's what we've seen today. It's just very special and very devoted performance. Just amazing. And I just call on Uma and Shradhanjali and Uma just to present the bouquet. Thank you. Thanks again, Ranjit.
Truly say that Ranjit has fulfilled my mom's wishes today. Really exquisite. So that concludes the dance section of the program, and I'd like to call upon Terry for the next section of the program, which is to call the various speakers. Can I call
She was a very, very great soul. So I'm looking forward to hearing the memories of others. And don't forget, later we can share our memories on the Voxbox facility. So please be thinking about the words you might like to add to that and the condolence book. But our first guest is another great soul. It's Panditji Krishnakant Adri. And I'm sure he's very familiar to everybody here. Of his many achievements, he was the chaplain for the UK Armed Forces. He is indeed, currently regular number 10 also. And also, of course, he was the Panditji here at Newcastle, so he's been guiding not only the UK Armed Forces, but guiding us here in the North East spiritually also. So please can I have a big welcome for Mr. Panditji Krishnakant Adri.
नमोस्तुनन्ताय सहस्रमूर्तये सहस्रपादाक्षिशिरोभावे सहस्रनाम्ने पुरुषाय शाश्वते सहस्रकोटिविधारणे नमो नमः. Friends, wonderful to be here. The mantra was coming into my mind there while I was watching Gita there. Says Sahitya Sangeet Kala Vihinah साक्षात् पशु पुच्छ विषाणहीनः तृणं न खादन्नपि जीवमानः तद्भागधेयं परमं पशूनाम्. Knowing Ranjita from very, very young age and seeing her in this wonderful performance, it was sounded like divinity is dancing self there at front of us there. My heart was crying. As wonderfully performed by Ranjita. Credit goes to no doubt Justice Manjula ji, who has traveled all the way from India there, guiding Vamshi and Ranjita there, no doubt inspired by Nath family, but wonderful. Thank you to you first. Wonderful Ranjita, keep up the good work. We are so proud of you. Lovely, lovely dance. Friends, as we are gathered here to share our memories on the theme of Shradhanjali to a great soul known as Satyavathi. I can go on and on there as I've got so much to share. But I will just be very brief. First of all, humble pranam to saintly person Dr. Nath. I used to always call them as Rishi couple, saintly couple, who have dedicated their life for culture, tradition, spirituality, and of course, spreading the message of wonderful, our holy Gita there. My memories goes back over 30 years. I used to be the temple priest here. I had a privilege to go to Birmingham Balaji temple. And when I saw the temple of Balaji there, I prayed there, Lord, I want you to be in Newcastle as well. We started puja thanks to Dr. Nath and Satyavathi. And we used to have a very simple picture here. And I used to share with Dr. Nathji and Satyavathi that we would like to have Balaji here. No doubt there were so many obstacles, so many issues, how to bring, because it has to be properly brought, it has to be properly installed in the temple, it has to be traditionally properly way. We have to have, luckily we found this area which was very simple, and of course there was a room there, it wasn't that much room here. God made its place. Shambhuji and Satyaji worked tirelessly despite of all the obstacles there, and they worked tirelessly, and of course, here we go, Lord Venkateshwara Balaji is here, worshipped constantly, day and night there. Wonderful priests are here who are doing the ceremonies. Dr. Nath and Satyaji inspired me through Gita teaching. It was Satyaji's promise, and of course, she had asked me to learn Gita by heart. She used to love me as a son. She used to love my pronunciation, and she said, Panditji, you have to learn Gita. And I promised her, when we had first Gita conference in Bangalore, 18 chapters, 700 verses, it was a difficult task. But when I learned everything by heart, and when I recited at front of her, she was over the moon. She blessed us. And it was so precious blessing there from her when I recited those prayers without looking at the book there. They dedicated their life for the community, for the spirituality, and of course, organizing. How they organize, I still don't know. 18 conferences on 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita on every aspect. Organized so wonderfully that it was, all the conferences were appreciated so well there. We are grateful to Dr. Gupta ji, I will never forget him for his dedication, no doubt Justice Chalur, Manjula ji, and all the Chalur sisters who worked tirelessly to support Satya ji and Shambhunath ji there to organize the conferences. Whatever we needed, whether we are publishing the booklets or anything else is being published, organized there, the whole family was fully dedicated for this Gita Yagna there. So wonderful. Dr. Nath was, I should not be saying, but I will be truthful here. Whenever he used to make mistakes, she used to interrupt and tell him off. She used to correct him instantly. And regardless how many people are there, how many people are sitting there, and how wonderful Dr. Nath used to accept the weakness there or whatever wrong he did say. That is the dedication amongst in between two couple. In this wonderful couple there, respecting each other, appreciating each other, and correcting the mistakes there. It is wonderful. No doubt seeing Dr. Nath for last couple of years, I should say, he is finding himself a lost soul. As he is missing her badly, Dr. We are all missing Satyavathi. Whenever we used to have pujas in the temple, especially Balaji puja, as soon we used to close the curtains, there she goes, singing wonderful verses, wonderful bhajans, songs, or even prayers or the stotras there, and how wonderful voice she had. No doubt, when we do puja here, her presence is always here. And your presence is going to be regardless whether you are here or not. Until the temple is here, that punya is going to take you long, long way. The blessing of Lord Almighty God is always going to be upon you and the wonderful, lovely daughters, Chandrikaji and Umaji, and of course their families there. It is difficult, no doubt, as Satyaji and Shambhuji, they have dedicated their life there for the spirituality. How Chandrikaji and how Umaji, including Shradhanjali and Care and all, they spare their time, including or adding all the activities as mom dad wanted to have. Moms and dad's blessings are always with you there. Keep shining, keep smiling, and keep inspiring with your actions and deeds and activities there. I'm not going to go too long, but on this Shradhanjali day, pray to Lord Almighty God to bless that wonderful soul. Pray to Lord Almighty God to strengthen Dr. Nath there, and continue to spread the message of Holy Gita. This is the wish of Satyaji. This is the wish of Lord Almighty God there. She will be blessing you all from the heaven there, no doubt. Don't stop. It has to work, has to continue. This Gita Yagna has to continue. I'm so pleased he's weekly taking his lessons there despite of his own difficulties. He's continuing with his preaching there. I'm sure it must be pleasing Satyavathi there. So, Dr. Saab, keep up the good work. Our humble prayers are with you, with your family, and the whole community's prayers are with you there. Their blessings are there. May God bless you both. Thank you so much.
Very well put, excellent. Thank you very much for your memories. The next speaker, I've got the great privilege of introducing Dr. P.V. Nath. Dr. P.V. Nath is my guru. He is the guru for many people here and throughout the world. The chairman of the International Gita Foundation Trust. He's like a father to me. He's like a father to many and a grandfather to many here, of course. It's hard to put into words the achievements of Dr. P.V. Nath. He's brought so many great memories. In fact, what he's given to us really cannot be measured. So I'd like to hand you over now to Dr. P.V. Nath.
Thank you all for coming to join me and Uma, Sheridan, Chandrika, and all children of Shradhanjali to our dear Sati. When we started, even now, I have not come to parents with what's happened in my life, and I had objection. And Uma asked me for so many times, can we do this, can we do that? I said, no, you do what you want. Mommy will be blessing you from where she is. So even now, I say the same thing to Uma. Sorry, I am not part of what has been done. Number of people I would like to thank, but it's not like to make all those statements. I can't stay without thanking Ranjita, Mandula, the grandchildren, my talk here is not going to be a speech. It's my feeling of Shradhanjali, tribute to what she has been. Hari Om Tat Sat is my prayer at my heart. Hari representing Vishnu and Lakshmi. Om represented as number 3, that is beyond past, present and future. Tat is that. Sat, you my dear Satya. Pray that one day I will wish you join you permanently. Request prayer to be granted. New Niyoka Mudushambarna. And all of you have been left behind for me as my support from Satya. Starting off with Dr. Muthukrishna, who is elder to me but still classmate of Satya, and he looks after my all the needs, whatever I want. And thank you, Muthu. And all of you people who are here, my friends, we call different names, monkey group or different things, but you are all lovely family, and all those things are giving me the strength, or at least trying to give me the strength, but I haven't got it. Please excuse me if I don't come forward with many things, what I'm expected to do, but continue giving me your love. Satya has left as a monument, Balaji Swamiji, she managed to get it for me. And that Padmavati Devi, she used to come every time to the temple, offer a special flower to Padmavati. And Utsav-murti, which Satya's brother-in-law Rajgopal went with me to Malaysia to buy it and bring it to the temple. So, please excuse me for, I may want to say many things, but no, I would like to say Hari Om Tat Sat once more to my dear Satya.
Our third speaker sharing her memories for us this afternoon is Chandrika Nath, Mrs. Satyanath's daughter. Chandrika Nath, many achievements, currently Director of the South Antarctic Institute at Cambridge University. So I'd like to introduce Chandrika Nath.
Thanks, Terry. Thank you, everybody, and thanks to my dear Daddy for those lovely words. So, I just want to share some memories of childhood. Really, the overwhelming memory of being a little girl was. So every day I'd come home from school and there'd be this sense of homecoming because I'd open the door and be hit by this waft of beautiful food cooking. And Mummy would have been preparing all day what to cook for us, and then I'd be hearing them bustling about in the background and singing. And so she made home feel like home. And it's not till I got older and had a little family myself that I understand that that doesn't happen automatically. It takes a special person to make a home feel like a home, especially when you're living with a disability and with illness. And a couple of years ago, when I had a diagnosis of cancer, and I spent some time facing a future that felt very uncertain and feeling too sick to be the parent that I wanted to be to my little girl. And I finally understood what it had been like for her all those years when I was a child. And I just never quite understood the effort and the sacrifice that goes into making things feel normal for the people you love when you don't feel normal yourself. And she and Daddy and all Mother created this atmosphere of security and safety for me, which allowed me to do so many things. It was my springboard to life and the universe, and it gave me the courage to sing and to travel all over the world, and I couldn't have done that without that early stability that I got from Mummy and all my family. And I think I didn't appreciate it because she made it look so natural that I took it for granted, and I never quite realised how much it cost her and Dad and Mama just to be so normal and to give me that safety and security. So I never thanked her for it when she was here, but I recognise it now, and I thank them all for it now. And because when she passed away, it was a traumatic time. There was so much going on with the pandemic and Dad being ill and then me getting really ill, that I haven't really processed what's happened. And I don't think I've quite realised. I haven't quite realised that she's not here. There's something about being able to touch the person you love before they go. And if you can't do that, then they never quite go properly. So just being able to be together and touch each other and remember her, it means so much, and I hope it's the start of a process for me of reaching some kind of closure or some kind of acceptance, just to be together with the people that she loved so much. Thank you, sorry.
One point I must have said it, but I did not say. Basically, Ranjita represents Kalapuri, which was started by Auntie Peddama. And what you saw was a beautiful expression of Kalapuri, supported by the family to continue love and art for Kala. Thank you.
Thank you, Daddy. Mary, I believe that I am the third speaker. Am I right? Okay. I need no introduction to most of you. Thank you so much for being here. My mother was one of those people who carried a light inside her, and I feel that it warmed a little bit of everyone she touched. And I also feel that although she was very gentle, she was a very courageous woman, and I genuinely see that in my sister. She's inherited the gentle nature and the courage, and I really feel very proud of her, and Dad does too. We both thought we'd like to say a few words about Mum to try and put into words what made our Mum a bit special. And it was really funny things. She was such fun to be with because although she's a deeply spiritual person, she took delight in the everyday world. And I actually tried to make a list of things she would like. And it got so long, so quickly, that it became very difficult. And she liked random things like Tupperware. She was mad about Tupperware. And Tupperware parties she held. And anything had 2 hybrid tea roses, and she loved gardens, beautiful gardens, and granite workshops, and grandchildren, very much grandchildren. So we thought we'd tell you a few things about what we felt made Mum special, and one of the things was her attention to visual detail, rich visual detail. Maybe you know, in Stanley, Mum moved into the bungalow with Dad, and she lost her sight by then. And she decided to redesign it. And the way she redesigned it was so beautiful that the lights suffused in from all different rooms. And I asked her, everyone's praising you for this, Mum, the lights coming in at different times of day, how did you do it? And she explained that she had stood in different parts of the room before the extension happened at different times of day. Could you get me a drink of water, please? Thank you. And seen when the heat hit her cheek in a certain direction, and worked out. Thank you, Dan. Thank you. 2 lots of that. Yes, please. She worked out from that how to redesign the room, and it was great. So that was her creative way of getting around the problem. Another thing that I thought I might share a story that my grandfather, my papa, told me from Mum's early childhood that just gives some indication of her phenomenal memory. And she was 4 or 5 years old. She was brought up in India, and it was a little village, Shradhanjali. No? Shradhanjali. I knew I'd have that. Okay. So, sorry, Shradhanjali. And her father took her to a chariot festival, a big festival with lots of people there. So they were walking about, and unfortunately in the crowds my mum got lost. And the family sent out search parties, really scared. This lasted several hours. Everyone was panicking, and eventually they were told Mum was found in a little police outpost in the edge of the village, and she was safe and well. So they went to find her. But my father gave me an image of how he found her that I'll never forget. He found her in the dark night with the policeman underneath some flickering brush lamps, and she was sitting on the little police table, swinging her legs so they couldn't reach the floor. She was really tiny, and singing her heart out. Apparently she was singing Hari Katha. And the policeman had said, your mum and dad aren't going to be coming for a while, you may be bored. And she assured them she wouldn't be bored, but she offered to entertain them by singing Hari Katha, which is like a dance or song of God set to music. So that was something very special. And my granddad always remembered the policeman's enraptured faces at the time. And another thing that they used to do when there was an all-night festival in the village, all the sisters, all the cello sisters would have their beds or cots taken outside, and they would be allowed to listen to the street music, the musicians, and watch the dancers. And Mum recalled lying on the cot and getting chocolate and brown nuts fed to her by her grandmother, and looking at the sky, absolute velvet and rich with stars, and listening to the music and seeing the dance as her eyes shut. And the family was just so interested in music and dance, and my grandfather, my tata, asked Auntie Viji, my Viji Pinny, to be trained in Bharatanatyam dance. And as George Eliot said, George Eliot's husband said that she never forgot anything which came within the curl of her eyelash, and I think my mum was the same. And she had 32 years of vision, and she made use of it, and she forgot nothing. And she became an avid fan of Bharatanatyam, and that lasted all of her life. So I won't take too much longer, but three more things I wanted to say. My granddad, as he became quite old, he just used to talk to me a lot, and I really treasure that now. And one of the things he told me in an auto rickshaw as we were passing through a very noisy Bangalore is that he felt each of his daughters had one essential intrinsic quality that was unique to them, like justice or charity or courage, something like that. And I asked described that as God's greatest gift. And I understand now, really what that means. So Mum achieved so much, but she would not have been able to achieve it without the support and the first most steadfast support of her devoted, loving husband. She also said she was an absolute millionaire in sisters, which was true. And she described my mum here as her backbone, more than a sister to her. And for decades, that unwavering commitment to my mum kept her light shining absolutely to the end of her days. And we never thank you enough for that. And there are people who can't be with us today, so close to Mum, and that's my Aunt Shradhanjali, who couldn't be here. But we do have Mum's very old friend, Dr. Raj, and family, who is here. Uncle Raj and Auntie Prabha, yeah. And then my Auntie Vijaya, who's been a sister to Mum for so many years. And we have Vatsala here, who is the wife of my late brother, Ramesh, who treasured so much time with Mum and so much laughter and music and memories. He can't be here, but Vatsala's here with us today. And Uncle Hari Shukla, who supported Mum for decades in this region. Bade Bhai, I should say, who supported Mum. So I wanted to say that. Mum lived most of her life here in the UK, and in this place she and Dad found many people in the community from all backgrounds and all ages who became and remained her friends. And so many of you are here today, and it's good to share the occasion with you. We really owe you a debt of gratitude, because we couldn't have sustained Mum's spirits on her own with all the losses she faced. And the fact that you all you understood what she needed to help other people. And she needed to forget what she had lost in helping other people gain something. And the fact that you understood that over decades in this whole community did something really special. And Mum fulfilled her potential, which I'm not sure how many disabled people do because of all your help. And we're really grateful that she was able to live a long, happy, productive life. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Uma, and thank you very much, Chandrika, for sharing those memories. They were very, very poignant, very heartwarming. Thank you. Sita Pagnia certainly is a very apt description of Mrs. Sampson. This, of course, is Mrs. Nath's sister, and this is Mrs. Manjula Chella, and she is the retired Chief Justice. And Mrs. Manjula Chella, of course, has been with Mrs. Nath, with the International Gita Foundation Trust, attended many conferences over the years, and has many achievements to her name. But I'd like now to introduce Ms. Manjula Chella.
My beloved aunt, who makes so many things happen, and she made this happen.
Dear friends and family, when it comes to, yes, I am supposed to be very bold lady, courageous, people are scared of me. Back at home, I know. You are not, I know that. But when it comes to Satya, I become a bit emotional. We lost our mother, and when Mum was just 52, I was 29 at that time. Now I am 67, 67 minus 29. The rest of it, Satya was Mom to us. She was the mother. We are almost 14 years difference between our age. And when Mom used to take all of us, in the train or bus, they used to call and hen with the little ones around her. Satya almost looked after all the 4 sisters because we are much younger to her. And my English teacher used to say, if your Akka was late to the school, she would say, I had to give bath to Manju and then come. I remember that when Akka went to Bangalore to do her medicine, we were all very small. She used to come for vacation, and then we would wait for her to learn new cooking and feed us with all different items. So she would learn especially different things, and she would bring vegetables from Bangalore because cauliflower was not available in Ballari for a long time. She would make different varieties and she would try pickles along with Mom, and she would, for every birthday of us, she would embroider lovely skirts for us with embroidery. She would make lovely designs of frocks. She would take us to the tailor, make him stitches, trial, everything she used to do. And then she used to love a lot of embroidery. I still have cross-stitch embroidery curtains which she made. She would teach us singing. She would play with us rangoli. My father never liked us putting mehendi on the hands, and he never allowed us to put rangoli outside. We shouldn't touch the cow dung or nothing. So when Akka comes, it's all excuse. He wouldn't say anything. So she would put mehendi for us, and she would put mosquito net. We used to fight among the sisters. Who is going to do the mosquito net today? So when Akka comes, it was her duty. None of us used to do that. And then I must say, I was just 10 years when my dear brother-in-law got married to my sister. I used to play carom board, Monopoly, fight with him. He used to cheat me sometimes. Then I used to tell, I'm not going to come for 10 days to your house. But next minute he would call me through the window. I would run back to the house and play again Monopoly with him. That used to be the fun we had till they left to UK. I was just in 8th standard when they came to England, and then it was a real big loss to the sisters, the company of Akka and Baba, who were just living next door to us. So between the windows of 2 kitchens, Akka's house and our house, Mom used to tell Akka what to put in the seasoning, everything, to make rasam and things like that. Of course, the tragedy happened in 1975. I was doing law. Then I came here after my completing law. What I learned from Dad and my sister was nothing to stop us moving further. God gives beautiful life of a human being, not every life. Not every Janma we are human being. You could be a donkey, monkey, whatever. We don't know. But when He gives the life of a human being, my dad and sister used to tell us, make the best of it. Don't miss even a second of it. Don't worry about anything. This minute is yours. Enjoy that. You should enjoy the life completely, because you never know, you get an opportunity again, they used to say. I used to go to court and I used to worry about the cooks wasting the things at home, kitchen, storeroom. Akka used to be there 1 month for vacation during winter. She would sit with me quietly after dinner. Come. We'd talk whole night together. And she would say, Manju, how much you think they must have wasted? Maybe 5,000 rupees. That's nothing in life. 5,000 is too small amount to waste your brain on this. Read your paper. Decide the case properly. So don't get worried about these little things. Life is precious. Life is valuable. Time is the most important, valuable thing. Don't waste. Whatever you thought you couldn't do it, make your children do it. That's what she used to say. That's how she became a dancer. I couldn't dance one step also. So, my only dream was to make her a dancer. Even if she doesn't work as an engineer, I'm not bothered. She must continue her dance. I must tell one thing. She underwent spine surgery. 2016 Ranjita. The surgery was for 7 hours. 7 hours. And we were not sure whether she would be able to dance, all of us. But Dr. Timappa promised me, who is also ardent teacher of Bhagavad Gita, he promised my daughter will be on her feet again. And Akka used to encourage Ranjita like anything. You will be able to dance. So whoever says, whatever they say, don't care. You just practice and concentrate. God will be kind to her. And that's what we see. All of us, my granddaughter Lasya, she would ask her every day what Pillari Gita you learned, what Varna you learned, sing me over the phone. She used to sing to her over the phone. She would encourage all the little ones, everyone to develop some fine art and learn. That's what we are. And I must say, in 1996, my dad died in May. March, Baba and Akka came there. Baba sat with my dad and he said, I being the eldest son-in-law, I am like the first son in the family. I know you have achieved everything what you wanted, accomplished everything what your children needed. If at all there is anything left, tell me, I'll note down, I'll complete all those wishes of yours. Me and Satya will be in the place of you and mother-in-law. We'll do that. That's what they are to us. Thank you for Yes, okay. Dr. Shashi Raison's friend, I think. So we all got to him. Thank you very much. Sorry for being emotional.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Jella. Thank you very much for your memories. Our next speaker here, and the next speaker was Miss Nath's sister in the UK. It's Dr. Vijaya Kakumari, and she travelled today with her husband from Purley in Surrey. So I'll hand you over now to Doctor.
Namaste, everyone. It's very hard to say something in few minutes about Satya, because Satya is a legend for me, and I'm sure for everybody. Me and Raju met Satya in 1980. That's 42 years ago, when I was expecting my son. And the reason how we met was Manju got married into Raju's family. That's the connection. People want to know how I became Satya's sister. And when I met Satya, I was blown away. And we weren't aware of Mom's condition, and we just walked in, and as Jenny said, I smelled the food, and I was wondering how did this food was prepared, who prepared it, and it was Mom, and the perfect salting, perfect smell, perfect everything. And I just couldn't understand how that could be. And it was wonderful, delicious food I ate. And that was the day I made my mind up, and I said, this is a great person I met. And she had just not that quality, she had so many great qualities. And it's very hard to find a person like that. She was spiritual, philosophical, but yet very much enjoyed the little things in the real world. As Uma said, the smell of the flowers, the sounds of the birds, everything. I noticed when I go with her, she just, do you notice that? You say, oh my God, I haven't, but she did. And that was amazing to me. I said, look at that. How could she notice all these things? How could she smell those things? And her memory was, it's just, I couldn't understand her memory. I had the pleasure of learning singing from her, and she remembered the lyrics of the songs from way back when she was a child. And she would just come out with all the lyrics. And I said, how do you remember all these things, Satya? And the one thing I noticed, the generosity of both Shambhu and Satya, that the generosity, not in the material means, it's the physical generosity. How many of us could cook a meal after meal after meal after meal, every day after day after day, throughout the year, entertaining people in their house? And me and my family had we were at the receiving end of that generosity. And one of the occasions we had the generosity was when I was expecting my little girl. I stayed with them for almost 6 weeks. And the way Satya and Shambhu talked to me and my family was amazing. I could never ever forget that, and we are very grateful for that. And my daughter is now 35-year-old. And Satya and me had a great bonding in the sense that not a morning went by without we had a conversation. And people might think, what are we talking about every morning? Well, we talked about music, dance, politics, sports, you name it, Bhagavad Gita, everything. And we could hold a conversation for at least 20 minutes to half an hour before I could run to hospital. And she had the knowledge of everything. And I was amazed at her knowledge, and she was up to date in everything. I don't know how she managed it with all her friend circle and the Bhagavad Gita classes and the writing Shambhu was doing, and she was supporting with the writing. She used to keep up to date with everything in cinemas, the pictures. She would come up with all the jokes in the cinemas, and which were so bad and which were so good, and all the things she used to update me because I wasn't into Telugu cinemas that much. So my sister from States visited one day, and while going on the way to Edinburgh, we stopped at Satyam Shambhu. We always did that with my family. We always stopped at Satyam Shambhu. And my sister said, I'll never complain about stress again after seeing Shambhu and Satya, that they're the best role models for me, and I'll not complain in my life again that I'm stressed. So I want to cherish the funny conversations we had, the scrumptious food we ate, and every moment I spent with her. It was a golden moment for me. So Satya always meant Satya and Shambhu for me. They both cannot be separated. Satya may not be physically here, but she's always in the hearts of both Shambhu and everybody. So I would like to thank both Shambhu and Satya, Raju, and me and my family. We're very, very grateful for your affection and love throughout our life. Thank you, Shambhu.
Lovely memories, lovely speech. Thank you very much. Our seventh speaker this afternoon needs very little introduction. It's Mrs. Chambundishwar. I just know her as Mrs. Barney. I'm struggling. Sorry, Mrs. Barney. Mrs. Barney is loved and respected throughout the country. She's one of the foremost educators of Bharatanatyam dancing in the UK. She needs very little introduction to her so many achievements. Mrs. Barney.
Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Mata, Pita, Guru, Deva. It gives me great pleasure to say a few words about Satyavathi. My relationship with Satyavathi and Nath is very small. I have not known them for many years. It was due to my dance. My dance brought the contact with these noble people. My husband worked, he's died now, with the British Army, and we were moving a lot. And I felt alone without our Indian community. I couldn't see a temple, where the temple was. In those days we didn't have Wi-Fi and the computers and the mobile things to find out where the temple was and all that. But accidentally, someone told me there's a temple in Newcastle. And I was invited here for Tyagaraja festivals in those days, which was conducted by Dr. Aysan and Dr. Shankar. And of course, without Nath, there is nothing in this Newcastle. And I used to attend those Tyagaraja festivals, and then I came to know about Satyagaru and Nath. And I used to come every second Sunday after that, just for Balaji, Abhishekam and Puja. And then when the Kalyanam started, Balaji Kalyanam, Dr. Nath, he mentioned, why don't you give a performance for half an hour? So that's how my journey here with Newcastle began. And I'm very grateful to Nath for introducing me to Newcastle. But dance and music are the most spiritual things in life, and which I found when Satyagaru attended the shows. She'll always ask me, what is this, what is that? And when I had a conversation with her, she said, you have danced for this song, that song. I said, yes. Have you done Annamacharyas? I said, no. I have done Tyagaraja, I have done other poets in another thing. But Annamacharya I have never done. She said, mark this. There are two songs which are very famous for dance. Try and teach it to your students. And one was Brahma Mukati, and then one other one was Brahma Gadina Padam. She said, these two songs are my favorite. I've heard her sing most of the time. When we come here to the temple, she's always there and singing these bhajans and songs. And it sort of elevates you to a different level. So I always enjoyed her music. And as today we heard so many people say so many things. She's a versatile person. Music, cookery, dance. I came to know about that recently. And her sisters mentioned all the small incidents about their life which I was not aware of. So all these things, when you hear, you relate more to her. But it has been a pleasure for me. Through dance, I was able to connect with them. It was not a connection where we talk daily over the phone or we keep inquiring how you are and how we are. It was a detached attachment, I would say. So many of the things I was not aware of, I came to know through Panditji here, through his sisters and daughters. So it was a pleasant surprise for me to learn that she was very, very into, I can say she was almost a promoter of arts because she sang and she was inquiring about various padams of abhinayas and all that. So that really, I said, how can she understand what she will say? See, I have seen Pushpa Garu and others sitting next to her and explaining to her what is happening on the stage. The handicap which the children came from Bangalore were introduced here. I said, how can handicapped people dance? And that amazed me. The way they danced, the precision and the impeccable mudras and footwork was amazing. And I was really stunned by that performance. And it opened my eyes. Dr. Nath opened my eyes there. He said, this is how children learned in India, and that master who came explained how they teach for the disabled, and I took it upon myself to go to schools and teach for disabled people in here, in UK, which I found very difficult. But somehow in India it is very easy, I think. They managed to do it very well. And I thank Nath for contacting me today to come and say a few words. I'm very grateful, and I think she's always here with us. I think we should say that we shouldn't say goodbyes. We should always keep the memories and treasure them. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Curry. Wonderful words, very insightful. Our next speaker is a good friend, family friend of Dr. Nath's and of course of Mrs. Satyavathi. It is Dr. Raj.
But I knew Satyavathi before Shambhu was working in a different hospital. And Satyavathi was in the Kali hospital, where I was also working. And she was so nice, and we became so close to each other. We were of similar kind. And she was missing Uma, who was left in India. And she was really feeling she is a very, very lovable mother. And she's a great mother, and a brave mother, and we are very fortunate to have a mother like Satyavathi. I always admired Satyavathi, and when she invited us, she was alone in the residency, and she invited us for a meal. And we went together, and she, of course, she studied all the time, medical, hard work, and she had no time to cook. It was not that nice meal, but I criticized her. You only studied, you don't know how to cook. She didn't get cross with me. She gave a big smile and kept quiet. She should have kicked me out and no friendship. But we understood each other. We liked each other so much. And really, she became a great cook. And we were together, and children Uma came from India, and yes, you came later in Article, and we were in touch with us for a long time. And Shambhu, then we were looking for jobs. The jobs he wanted to be an ENT specialist. I wanted to be an eye specialist, and we couldn't get the jobs during that time. children were growing and we want to settle down, and that's why we took general practice as part of it. And then I took the general practice first, and then Shabu followed me as well. And we were in touch with us for such a long time. And I was with Satyavathi also in some good days and bad days as well. We had, when she met with an accident, she was so anxious to see the children coming from London. And then it was just a spur of moment. If there was sick bed was compulsory in those days, she wouldn't have lost her eyes. We were both in the hospital praying for her sight. But very unfortunate, she lost her sight. But she had a great will to live, and she loved life, and she adapted so well into the community. I can say she's very brave, and I can say she is like Indian Helen Keller. Helen Keller was a great lady, and Satyavathi was similarly a great lady. And I do miss her, but I wish her peaceful life. And we have the life has to go on. Shamu should take courage. And I know we all miss her immensely, but I don't know why so many youngsters go away, leave me behind. I'm quite proud. I have 53 years, is a long time of association with Shamu and her children. My children grew together, and they have done extremely well. They are also great mothers now. Yes. And Manjula came. I've seen all their family as well. Manjula, Satyavathi was the eldest daughter, and she was a guide to all her sisters. And several sisters became very popular singers in India as well. And Ranjita has given a great tribute to her grandma, Pedama. She has given a great tribute. I don't want to take a long time. I have a lot of happy memories with Satyavathi and Shambhu, and they have done a great service to the community and also spirituality. They promoted in India. He's a great writer and a good colleague, good friend of mine. He's like my younger brother and sisters, both of them. I had many happy memories, and also sad time as well. But this is quite a sad time to me, but I miss her immensely, and I pray her soul to rest in peace. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Raj. We have three more speakers this afternoon to share their memories of Mrs. Satyavathi. I'd like now to welcome to the stage Mrs. Shushma Bellary, please. Bellary, sorry.
Satyavathi has always been my ate. Being away from home, being away from family, ate and mama has always shown immense love, affection and lots of warmness. To what I have observed, noticed, seen, over all these years, they have shown the same love, same affection to many people, and in Northeastern, that's why they're so dear to all of us. I still very vividly recall the days when Auntie and Mama often came to Metro Center for a walk, and they made sure to visit us very casually. They just dropped in like family, and that's what I loved about them. And when we get that love and affection and ease in a relationship, I was bound to open up and speak to Auntie, expressing those little things that bothered me for the day. Oh, I'm fed up with this, and I'm tired of that, and all such things. And it was more of a woman-to-woman thing. And Auntie then shared the situations, the circumstances that she faced in life. And when she expressed this to me, in my eyes, she was no less than a warrior, winning the battle of life. And still standing strong, winning each and every day that nothing could shake her up. I was amazed, I was inspired. For me, she's a true motivator. Even today, all the odds that I face every now and then, if Ati could have managed to handle the situations and circumstances then this is nothing to what I am facing today, is what I feel. She handled her daily chores with such ease, so gracefully. The flavors that she brought in her dishes were just finger licking. And I just loved listening to her singing bhajans in the temple. And she was always beautifully dressed in saris with matching elegant jewelry. And she was always so prompt, on time for occasions, for gatherings, for events. So much to learn from Ati and Mama as individuals and as couples. Ati had a good sense of humor. She always liked to pull Mama, and she used to say, Shambhuki, Allah heli kodbeku ಏನು ಮುದ್ದೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. And Mama, like, and when she says that, I can still hear her voice, like, very clearly, the smile, I can just recall everything so clearly in my visual and in my mind. I can just hear her now. And the love she used to, the way she used to say then. And Mama, a true gentleman, getting her coat on her and holding Ati's hand strong, firm, and with lots of love. Mama always messages us with his wishes and blessings, signing off as Ati and Mama. They're indeed showering love and affection with life and beyond. Thank you so much for being a part in our life, and we are forever grateful that we are part of your life. Thank you so much, Mama.
Our next speakers, I'd like to welcome three friends to speak. Mrs. Nath's friends, they are of course the members of our satsang group, and that is Mrs. Asha Probati, Mrs. Shrika Reddy, and Mrs. Pushpa Raman. The very close friends of Mrs. Nath. Are you expecting to speak? I'm going to put you on the spot. Where's Asha?
It's okay.
Oh, she's high.
It's
It's okay. In which case we can move on. I've left my notes actually there. 2 seconds. Okay. Okay, this is our final speaker this afternoon. It's Dr. Poonam, who's going to read a poem for us this afternoon.
Hi everyone. So actually my dad didn't write the poem in the end. I think he was a bit overcome with emotions. He found it a bit difficult. I'm Shri. My name's Guji for Uncle and Auntie, and we've known them for a very long time. I think since I was about 2 years old. I'm 44 now, so that's a long time. But this is from my dad, who saw Auntie Satya as an older sister. He basically has written that Satyaka, or Auntie Satya, she is to us, was born in Bellary district of Karnataka to Sri Bhimappa second couple, and schooling was in that town. Her father was a leading, well-reputed lawyer and advocate, and she had 4 sisters who we've heard so much about, and 1 brother as well. Later she joined medicine in Bangalore, and after qualifying in medicine she got married to Dr. Nath Patikonda Viswambara. The couple came to the United Kingdom, and they had 2 lovely daughters, Uma and Chandrika, whom they absolutely adore. My dad put around 1978, but I think we found out it's 1976, that Auntie met with a bad car accident resulting in losing her eyesight. Although she lost her eyesight, through Uncle Nath, she mentally saw everything and grasped everything well. She loved colours, she loved touch, and she remembered the differences, the changes in people, and from day to day, if she felt our faces, And then in 6 months' time, she would remember every single difference. Auntie Satya loved music, mainly classical music, and she loved arts, poems, and wrote Telugu poems. She entertained her guests with Uncle Nath's help, and she never complained. She dealt with all the adults and children as well. Although she was diabetic, she used to manage very well, and she was a fantastic cook, which we've heard a lot about already. Her favourite soap was Coronation Street, and I think she might actually be the most avid fan of Coronation Street, and she's watched it for a long, long time. I think even when it was in black and white, I think. Yes. She was such a good singer, a good listener, and a good advisor. She sang on so many occasions. We've all had the privilege to hear her. In fact, she even sang at my wedding, and I'm so honoured to have had that memory. She had many different health problems, but she never was overcome by them. I don't remember Auntie or Satyaka complaining at all. She always took everything in her stride. Unfortunately, her health slowly deteriorated, and COVID was severe, and Satyaka succumbed to it and passed away. May his soul rest in peace.
Thank you, Dr. Shradhanjali. And thank you all to all of our speakers this afternoon who've shared your memories of Mrs. Satyanath. We've reached the end now of the memory section, and it leaves us to have Aarti and then followed by Prasadam. I would like to remind people, please can you take the time to enter into the Book of Condolences any memories you have. It would mean a lot to the family to have your reminiscences entered into the condolence book, and also that the youngsters are going to be going on, whilst we're eating, the youngsters will be going around with what's called a vox box, taking mini videos of people's memories of Mrs. Satyanath. So thank you all very much for coming this afternoon. I know the family are very, very grateful. Thank you.
May I request everyone to stand up for our please?